to the Roy Anthony and every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie.
Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony every Show. Tuesday. It's during the week, homie. The Roy every Thursday. Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a tap in before we gotta tap in. What you listening to? Roy Anthony every Show. Tuesday. Come on and kick it with us, the Roy Anthony every Show. Every Thursday. It's going down, homeboy, the Roy Anthony Show. Tap in. Big Hank, we getting it. What you think? Hey. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia Joy.
Yeah. What it do? Welcome once again to the Roy Anthony Show. I've been had a little sinus cold. I caught somewhere between leaving Long Beach and coming to Kansas City and then going back. So that's why I was like, oh my goodness, I was feeling kind of like, oh, I get some rest. So anyway, welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. I'm Roy Anthony. My co-stars will be coming in soon. Big Hank Norman, Cynthia Joy Towner. The Roy Anthony Show is about having a conversation about any subject. It's not a confrontation though. It's a conversation. Sometimes we don't try to have a conversation and we tend to debating and arguing. Next thing you know, we're fighting and killing each other, And so we pride ourselves on having a conversation that falls under the platform of the WO platform, which was created in awareness of how our veterans commit suicide on a daily rate. And when I first got with the WO program, it was stated how over 44 veterans, active and non-active veterans, commit suicide. This is daily. It's not monthly or yearly. We're talking about daily. And so we know that the reason for a lot of suicides is because of depression, feeling inadequate, feeling like things is just coming apart. You don't see no get out, get back or whatever, and we pride ourselves on trying to touch up on things and be letting you know that you're not by yourself at this, and that not just are you not by yourself, but if you need somebody to talk to, you can go look up for me and stuff. We can talk. You can go through anybody at the WO, Big Hank, Cynthia Joy, Richie King. Let me get with the credits because WO was created by Richie King, whose stage name, comedy, he's a stand-up comic as well. His name is Redneck Pimp. but Richie King is also running for presidency as independent. And like I told him, if he makes the ballot, he gets my signature, my vote. But he also the co-creator of the WO is my brother Goose, the social producers that make sure everything is running adequately and everything is beautiful. That's our homegirl Blue Phoenix, and then our partner Eighth and Daily, and then you probably seen their pictures and stuff through the credits rolling. Then our sponsor Matthew Brooks, who makes sure that everything is taken care of. Then we have our good neighbors, the BV Nation and stuff. One of our partners who represents the BV Nation be on the show, Carl Loomis, and the BV Nation is the backwoods veterans based out of Oregon. Now, a lot of us aren't veterans, but we support the veterans. There's reasons that it wasn't that we was dodging some of us who didn't join the military. It wasn't that we was dodging and stuff like that. Sometimes it was so political as teenagers that back in the days they'd be like, if you got in trouble as a teenager, they put them in the service back, 50s, 60s. When we was teenagers, when I was coming up, they rather incarcerate you. Ice Cube even talked about, like, man, how many prisons are y'all going to build? To this day, we have over 4 million blacks in prison. When they send you to prison for child support, DUIs, stuff like this, instead of like, hey, let's activate these, put them in the military, it's for the training, but but anyway, let me give them the credits because I'm about to get into some deep subjects again. Part two of Prejudice Ears. So we also want to give a shout out to the Long Beach players. That's the Long Beach All Stars with the affiliation of the cities of Compton, Linwood, Watts, in this city of Long Beach. Veterans, non-veterans coming together, making things work. I see our live stand-up comedy show. That's right. We have a live stand-up comedy show. You're welcome to come out, check out our show. We're in Long Beach, downtown Long Beach. It's been blowing up. We're having a lot of top comics. A lot of people's loving it. I call it the real stand-up, for real. Myself, I don't want to give a shout out to the comics. That's, of course, Big Hank has been hosting the show, running it so smoothly. You got myself, you got the regulars like Melrose, Little Rob. We got my man Stefan who comes in. We had the comedian Black. I don't say his last name wrong. I don't want to say it wrong. But we've had some guest comedians coming in. Some other ones has been hitting us up. So if you're not in the town, though, if you're not in Long Beach or Cali or something like that, how you want to say it, you can also see the show live through YouTube. You just go to Roy Anthony Live. That's as simple as it gets. We ask everybody, please subscribe to my channel. We're starting to put more stuff out. It's just not going to be just the stand-up comedy, but we're about to be putting up a lot more content besides the stand. We're the only ones who's streaming live stand-up comedy. Literally. I'm not bragging on it. It's just like we are streaming live every Thursday night. Last week we had to move it to Friday. The place was already at occupied, and they gave us the Friday. We wanted to stay with Fridays, but we had to you have to stay in the lane that you are given until it becomes beneficial, especially for the owners. And we like to give a shout out to the owners. That's my brother Guy and his beautiful wife Shanice, and the whole crew at the Gray. They called it the Gray LB. That's at 246 East 3rd Street, downtown Long Beach, California, 90802. The show, the doors been opening. They was opening early for the football game. So everybody know I'm a Raider fan. So I'm gonna be at the spot because at our spot, because not only do we have the good food by Two Old Men's Chicken, man, Take Dog. His chicken is so that this past show we had, He sold out before the first comic was able to come up. I ordered my chicken dinner when he had this 3 left because people was coming down, and I always get my chicken, after I'm done with my stand up. I don't want to be up there smacking my lip. I go up there and say, all right, I'm gonna grab my chicken after I get done. And man, I came down, somebody else took my chicken. I was upset. I went around the place like Sherlock Holmes trying to deduct where my chicken could be at, right? And I'm one of those people, I don't go back to something that, but I knew it was covered and it's usually there. But when I came down and he was gone, I'm like, oh man, somebody has got my chicken. I felt like dude on Richard Pryor on Which Way Is Up. Who stole my piece of chicken? Right. But on this podcast, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's drama, sometimes it's emotional, because we use this podcast to open up about ourselves, how we think about a subject, and then it prepares me for while I'm doing my stand up, how I'm thinking. So everything is in a funny situation at times, making sure that everybody was able. I was getting text messages that some people couldn't get in, and okay. Oh, I just got word we got Jamero McClain showing up this Thursday. That's right. We be having some heavy hitters showing up for the comedy show, and we've been tearing it up. I like to challenge myself. Sometimes I put myself at third. Sometimes a couple of weeks ago I put myself first. Big Hank, because I can ride Big Hank's way. Big Hank, man, we've been working with each other now for 4 years. Matter of fact, me, him, and Melrose, and we're gonna start tagging up on some stuff. And I'm about to be letting a lot of people see the talent that we've been having. But anyway, back to the subject today is part two of Prejudice Ears. Now, when I'm saying prejudice, I'm not saying it like it's just in a racial overtone. It's prejudice is prejudging, meaning that you have accepted a conclusion about an individual before you even get to know them. When people be on drugs, if they come up to talk to you, do you shun them down because you looking at the life that they live in, and then we categorize them into a buffoonery of the shows that they've had where they depicted our the blacks on drugs. I forget the character Dave Chappelle had, and he was I never get the scene where the dude's on Fear Factor, and and okay, Big Hank got fame. My man said, Greg Williams said, Big Hank Norman has lots of charisma and personality. We on Thursday this week. That's right, man. And so that's my bro, man, Big Hank. And thanks, G. Appreciate that, man. Um, but back to these, when I was talking about when Dave Chappelle, when he played crackheads, and we seen a lot of different exploits of how crackheads and stuff, and that's what, and it's so trippy to me that we categorize a person and we don't want to be called by a different race, the N word, like I can't have white, say, hey, Roy, you feel me? Just like I'm not going to call them, you know, hunky, or you feel what I'm saying? These are derogatory statements towards each other. But then when you have uh, someone like who's on drugs, and you're saying to him, um, you don't want to hear nothing they said because he's you're saying he's a crackhead. You know, I've been guilty of this myself. You know, brother running up to me. I'm at to go in the store, and I'm like, not today, bro. When I look and think about what that did, that I'm like, shame on me. You feel me? Because I sure don't want God be like, hey, not today, not today. Lord, I need a blessing. I need your help. Things are suffering. You feel me? And he'd be like, well, not today, not today. I, I was having precious ears where I didn't even want to hear what he had to say. And that's wrong on me. I take that blame for real. And if I ever did anybody like that, please forgive me, because I start realizing about having precious ears. Sometimes we want to build up the rhetoricness of asking how we the slave trade and all that, and how to, you know what I'm saying? This stuff been done now. We here. Yes, I don't like what happened in the past. Yes, I'm against that, but I can't live in the past. I got kids that I'm keep telling about promising future. Now I don't forget where I come from. That's what my grandmother said. She said, just because you're from the ghetto don't mean you have to act like the ghetto. She said, better up yourself, go out and achieve more, but don't forget where you come from. Be able to be a help. Be able. We throw our comedy stage is for comics of all races who wants to be, either there's some of them is professionals and they just want to polish up something. They about to go on tour. You got some that is, medium. They just don't have an audience, and here we are. We provide something. And then we got new cats who is good for 3 to 4 minutes. Let them, experience. At least they had the guts to do it. A lot of people want to come up on the stage, but they don't have them guts to do it. You know, I'd be teasing with some of my rapper friends because music is considered an accompaniment. That means that you catch a rhythm, catch that rhythm in there, and you just riding with the rhythm. When you're doing stand-up comedy, it's just you and that microphone. Cut the music, DJ. Let me say what I gotta say. I thank God for my brother Big Hank. I know how then I know when we first got together, I knew that he listened to me because I would slip in a word and he'd be like, hold up. what, what did you just say? And so I started working on pronouncing words because believe me, y'all be thinking that he's nodding or whatever, but he's in tune. He's listening to every word you saying. And you know, I was born in the evening, but not last night. And likewise for herself. So, and then when we met Cynthia, Cynthia is a genius, y'all. Cynthia is a genius on flipping moods. If you sad, her name speaks it. She is every bit of that. I mean, she got the tape of me falling asleep. She is clown. I had such a good time with my sister that, I've been, missing her. Some of us have been talking about going up to Colorado Springs. I want to say a big shout out, man, to my man Carl Loomis. It was his birthday yesterday. He didn't say nothing. I seen Cal Lundy giving him a shout out. I just happened to go on Facebook and I seen that. And I want to say, hey, man, happy birthday, Carl. For real, bro. Carl Loomis up there in Oregon. He's probably doing a project up in the state of Washington, somewhere, and his beautiful wife. I say it's his wife anyway. They're going to make it official July the 7th of 2024, But that's his wife, and they got two beautiful kids. and stuff, working man and stuff. He got much respect from us. He'd be sitting right there in the ride. Me, him, Big Hank. Some people want to ride with us. We ride through Long Beach, going his dip spot in Compton, and dip over and visit some homies in Linwood. You feel me? Might go to the west side, go down to the Clippers Stadium, which is built over there in Inglewood. It's beautiful too, and everybody know I'm a Clippers fan. Yeah, that's right. A Raiders fan throughout. Yeah, we had some adjustments going on this season, you know, but I will give credit where credit's due, and I've been saying this. I am a big fan of Patrick Mahomes, for real. Um, he even apologized for being mad at the ref and stuff because he was so emotional because Kelsey made a hell of a play, and that will go down with Kelsey, even though it was called back for a flag. It doesn't take it back away from Kelsey, but I don't root the Chiefs. But I do say, hey, Patrick Mahomes got. I've never seen so many white people wear a black man's football jersey in my whole entire life. I'm just keeping it 100. They played in Germany, and I seen three-quarters of the stand wearing 15. I said, wow, you know what I'm saying? Times have changed. And that's why we have to understand what's prejudice is. There's no prejudice when Mahomes, you know, he has a white side and a black side, makes it all into one. Patrick Mahomes, been to the Super Bowl 3 times, won two of them. He's already a legend. For real. That's a legend because there's only body I can know who can go to the Super Bowl that many times. Of course, that's the GOAT, Tom Brady. But there's quarterbacks playing all this time and they never got to the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott is balling like a mug, man, but we're going to determine if he's going to the Super Bowl. He hasn't been one. Patrick been 3. It's just facts, man. I wish my Raiders would pick it up and stuff. I like to do our rookie quarterback. I can let him get his feet wet and stuff. You got some of the top receivers out there. Okay, it's basically like we're rebuilding in the middle of the season. We right there, but you can't take no Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. I thought he was gonna go downhill once they lost to Tyreek Hill. But soon as I seen him do catch the Super Bowl pass, and he hadn't even caught a pass the whole season. He caught the one that counted. But it's back to that same subject. Even though I'm a Raiders fan, what do I have precious ears to Patrick Mahomes if he's talking? No. If I be listening to see if he's gonna say something biased. Greg said, Roy, I'm like Patrick, but I have no interaction or relationship with the white side of my family. My fatter folks are the only family that accepted me because of my color or skin tone. Yeah, that's Gregory Williams, and he's, and I hate saying stuff like that, biracial. He said he got tons of experience with this issue. See, now this is a very good situation right here. Um, I'm sorry, y'all. I have to take this right quick. I'm in a podcast. You all right, Auntie? Hello? Are you all right? Yes. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me for a second. It's my mother, Auntie. Auntie, I'm on the podcast, right? Yeah. Yeah, can I call y'all right back when I get done? I only took why I answered because I knew you. Make sure y'all weren't in an emergency. All right. Apologize about that, y'all. When my mother and my auntie calls, I don't answer the phones, vibrate. But when I looked over and seen my mother was calling my auntie, and it's like, oh. And so if nobody's around me right now to took the phone and answered for me. So, but I heard you, Gregory. He said, okay, so he's considered he is black, and so it's the ears, like what you just said, G. You said because when I was a kid, they had a saying, um, black man, white woman, black babe. White man, black woman, black babe. Black man, black woman, black babe. White man, white woman, white babe. So uh, um, when we have ears, like, so I could imagine like the family members, like he go over to his family members, or they actually listen to what G is saying. He said, the world likes to put me in a box, but I'm my father's son, and I'm only living this life as a human being, but I'm a black man in the world that I live in. Um, one drop. Now, this is person, okay, you a biracial cat. Now y'all can tell me. I'm gonna tell you this. I went through this. Okay, I'm dark skinned. Obviously, I'm black. But my mother, who was with my stepdad, they was light skinned, and my brother with different dads, light skinned, and most of the people in my family were light skinned. Light skinned because of the barish look. I'm true with the can'ty don'tys, beachy backs. You comb it out and beat you back to the scalp. That real hair, you feel me? Dark skin, brown eyes. They all light skin, curly hair. His hair is good. Roy got them BB snaps and all that stuff, right? Um, thank God I never get the homie taught me how to, get my waves in and stuff, right? But they had the curly hair. And, like I said, the Elder Bars look in my family. I'm the only one looking like this. And I used to think that I was ugly because I was black this and I was black that. I go to say something, there are precious ears. Oh, shut your black ass up. That type of stuff. You know, and my grandmother, who raised me, and she didn't even have no biological kids, raised my pawpaw's kids. And she was dark skinned from Shreveport, Louisiana. And one day I was like, they just ribbing me. We was at a family situation, and they was just ribbing me, laughing, uh, bagging on me. He like an empty cabinet. Oh, you got out of Nana's car and the oil light came on. Oh. So I'm in the car with Nana, and I'm like, man, they don't listen to me and nothing. I'm constantly, every time I say something, then they talking about my color and everything. And she said, baby, they just jealous. I said, jealous. She said, don't you know black of the berry, sweet as the juice? See, they light skin, they haven't gotten right. You right, baby. And they know that's why they attract to you. When she gave me that vote of confidence, she gave me that ammunition, you feel me? But for a while I felt inadequate. Going through this since I'm 5 years old till I'm 12, you know, make it where I didn't want to say anything to the family members when we get together, because when I go to say something, somebody got to throw in you dark this or you dark that. Um, Cynthia, I seen Cynthia Joy jump in the background, and I'm going to wait for her camera to come on. But my family members had prejudice towards me because I was dark skinned and they was light skinned. Some mixture of like Patrick Mahomes, Gregory Williams, where you got a black family side and the white family side. And the white family side probably don't want to listen what he's saying. And then when they don't want to listen what he has to say, then that makes it where he don't have nothing that he want to hear from them. Now there's no communication. You ever have somebody every time they come around you, they like slap rock, from Flintstones, wowsy, wowsy, woo, woo. The whole world just starts shaking. You feel me? Everything is cracking and breaking. Well, now when dude comes around to talk, he may have changed his way. We don't want to hear from you because when you come around, everything is getting messed up, man. And when you have prejudiced ears, you can't reason. You can't come to a reasoning or a conclusion. It may be a miscommunication about something. But if you feel like you don't want to hear from this person, some people don't want to hear nobody talk about God. Well, look, man, I used to be out there, be on the street, the homie having a drink, be talking and stuff. Guess what? I be like talking about what God's blessing. Dude tell me, hey man, I don't be talking about God, man. When I be having a drink, I'm like, why wouldn't I? He don't want to hang no more. Because the homies I hang with, whatever. I can have a drink and I'm still recognizing who God is. Hold on, let me bring my sister in. She's up in here.
Hey, woo, 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 woo.
I feel you.
How you doing, Sugarfoot Sweet Face?
Oh, I'm doing great, Cynthia. I appreciate you and stuff. Well, thank you for coming in. We've been talking about those prejudiced ears again, and for a minute, you mind talking with the audience? My mother had an emergency, and I want to follow up on her call right quick. Okay?
Well, do your thing.
No, go on. I'm just gonna be a quick minute.
All right, do your thing. So apparently we was talking about them prejudiced ears. Well, I guess it comes with the same thing. I'm not necessarily dark skinned, but I am handicapable, and people do treat me a little different because of that. Either they think I can't do because of limitations, but they fail to realize my heart and my drive and my fight comes from, me and not my abilities. So people's opinions of me and you shouldn't change how you feel about you, because you got to know you awesome no matter what. Like your complexion, how much money you got, where you live, your abilities, none of that really defines the heart of a person. It's society that puts all of that extraness into um what a person looks like, the sex, what they're wearing, all these different things that's irrelevant to life. So I understand that it's a thing that we need to keep talking about more and more. That way we can change the dynamics of everything, and hopefully people will change their mind about how they see people of different abilities, because we all have our own special qualities, and no thing makes us less than who God has wanted us to be. We are perfectly imperfect the way He intended. So, I mean, to try to fit into what society or somebody else's opinion of you should be is crazy. So don't be crazy. Don't try to fit into what nobody else think you're supposed to be. Love you wholeheartedly, accept you, embrace you. Like, you are everything that you're meant to be, because God made you who you are, perfectly imperfect, wonderfully made, and nothing's going to stop your shine, because none of your abilities, nor how you look or where you live or nothing else, again, defines you. So that it just is what it is with that. And opinions are like assholes, and unfortunately everybody got one. So well, I shouldn't say unfortunately because you got to clean yourself out some kind of way. But yeah, just the beauty of it is as long as you love you wholeheartedly and you accept you and you encourage you and you affirm to you who you are and what your God has done for you, everything else falls by the wayside. Because again, everybody's going to always have something to say because people use this mouth more than they use their ears or even they eyes to see the heart of a person. They're just too busy having things to say. And some people just like to hear they self talk, like me. Now, I don't really like to hear myself talk, but I think I do well at it, especially considering that I couldn't talk 10 years ago. Stroke took it. It was like, no, you're not going to walk. You're not going to talk. You're not going to swallow. You're going to lay up in this bed. And that first day when I was pissed off and woe is me, the next day something happened and I was reborn. And here I am now, being that strength in you with that push through to come through everything that life throws at you. And loving myself in the process. So I want you to love you and don't worry about nobody's opinions of you because that's all they are. They assholes. We all got one. So don't worry about the opinions of people. How your mom doing?
Well, you know, it's fine. What it was is that my auntie has bull massive, and she's been living at this spot, the seniors and stuff, and she's only has one leg,
Okay.
and the dog keeps getting away from her, and he's not aggressive, but he'll knock you down and just want to play and lick on you, right?
Because
Because you're
big.
1 year old and she's big. So the senior society people's like, hey, so my mother didn't know that me and Richie King, the producer of the show, had been working to find a good home for, right? But they ain't said nothing, so they took the in their hands, and so now they was on the road with this dog up there acting a fool. And
Uh-uh.
so I had to. Then the producer had called me and said, "Hey, they had the home," and so my mother then was panicking. Then they're like, "Oh, I forgot you on the show." But let me tell you this: you only have one mom, y'all. You feel me? Her and my
Exactly.
auntie and stuff, and they depend on me, right? I don't care how what I do, whatever. Like my mother, like, yeah, you still, you know what I'm saying? You gonna do this? You feel me? I'd be like, let me send somebody to help you. I ain't having no stranger come in my house.
You already know she
Yeah.
old school. She ain't going.
You feel me? I need you. All right, here I come. But
She ain't
anyway,
going.
I was listening to you, and that's the first thing I heard you saying. And like I was guilty about turning precious ears towards crackheads, or I think that's derogatory, but people on drugs, right? And
Uh-huh.
I'm going to the market, and somebody is like, "Hey, brother, let me holler at you." I'm like, "Nah, man, not today, bro. I don't, you feel me?" Because I done categorized him
Yep.
that he got just some BS to say, right? When I don't want God to ever say to me, "Hold up, Roy, hold up," when I don't know what the man had to say. He may have been asking for change,
Right.
but at least I didn't. I should not have the precious ears to say, "I don't want to hear you out, bro." Like you said, you have a handicap. All of a sudden, people's attitudes kind of change.
Pause. Pause.
I'm,
Pause.
yeah, go ahead.
No handicap for me. I'm not her.
Well, I ain't talking
Anything.
about you. I'm talking about the people. If you say if they had a handicap or something like that, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about those somebody who's in a wheelchair or something. I've seen where.
They of a different ability. They're not
Okay, yes.
handicapped. Different ability.
Okay, listen. I'm sorry. I'm my bad. Say it
It's all
again.
good. See, if we don't do stuff like this, it won't become a thing.
Yes,
So we got to
exactly.
do this.
And yeah, now say what? How you supposed to say it?
Different ability.
Different abilities. Okay. Now, if you have a different abilities, sometimes a person can think like, okay, um, I don't want to. I got to change my approach since this person have a different ability.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so now, like, if I got all my limbs, it's sometimes people are putting the precious ears to like a handicap ramps or
Mm-hmm.
access to the doorways and
Yeah.
stuff like that. There's no push buttons. I've been watching you. If you go back and watch the show at the beginning, I talked about how you're a genius at this. you know. And this coming up with this terminology, I never even thought about that myself. Gregory, who has been corresponding right now, we was talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
He's his dad's side is black, his mom's side is white, and he's in a wheelchair for the past over 20 years.
Okay.
And so I know that he gets this probably from everywhere. But when I see him, I don't even look at it like that. I don't see him as black or white. Matter of fact, he got a big old Santa Claus beard and stuff for real. And um, I'm like he's people. I never see it as him in a wheelchair when I talk with him. I do business with him. I don't see him as being he's black or white or you know what I'm saying. It's people and stuff. And so then, but I do seem to shine away from if I'm going to this market real quick in the store and here's some dude coming up there, I am quick to kind of be like, man, what's going on? And I said, I got to stop that. That was shame on me. That if a person is approaching, he might have something to say.
Right. Don't make
You know,
assumptions. Yep.
and I'd rather say, oh man, I thought you had something to say than for me to say, man, I don't want to hear what you got to say. You feel me?
That's the difference.
Yeah. And I stand to be corrected. It put the blame on me show today. You know, I accept that fault. And I've had prejudice ears on that. I've had prejudice ears against cats that be bragging like they got it like this and you got it like that. And then when your world come crumbling down and you want to sing the sad song, I don't want to hear you.
Right.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
real. I feel you.
You know, you was this and that and this and that. And now you not there. I don't want to hear that.
Mm.
And now I feel like, you know, I can't now have precious ears. I might have to listen to them, you know, or hear them out or something. You know what I'm saying?
Give them a
But they
chance.
didn't want to hear reasoning. But now when they're in a situation where they need to hear reasoning, do I want to share it now?
Mm.
See, that's a serious point right there. It has nothing to do with different abilities. Don't have to do with no drugs, whatever. Sometimes a person's get down and how they treated you. Or it could have been an ex, or you know what I'm saying? It could be someone in your family or neighbor, a good friend, and they did something and played on your man or played on your girlfriend. You feel me? And now you don't want nothing to hear from them.
Right.
I was watching Talladega Nights, and
That's fucked up.
dude was gone for what 3 or 4 hours, and he come back and Cal, his best friend from childhood, the pace of his face on the family picture. They playing pachanga, pinga, whatever they put a piece of wood. And so the dude said, "Man, how you gonna do this to me? You feel me?" He said, "Man, we're gonna get married." He said, "We want you to come to the wedding." What? I'm not going to the wedding. And Cal said to him, he said, "Hey, look, man, you lost your wife, you lost your house. You might as well don't lose your best friend too."
Mess.
Hey, don't have prejudice here. He called him in the middle of the night one night and said, "Hey, man, I think your house is haunted." Dude is sleeping at his mama's house on the couch, and he calling Will Ferrell to tell him to say, "Hey, man, I think your house is haunted." Man, why you calling me? He said, "Hey, man, I just want you to hope you come to the wedding." He said, "I don't even know why I'm talking to you, right? But I'm just saying this." He was like, "Hey, do what you have precious ears if somebody did you like that?"
Of course.
Earlier you was talking all like, wait a minute, now all of a sudden you came in like Disney. Of course. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Listen, certain things. Now
My
listen.
God. Oh my God.
Certain things we just not gonna do.
You're like, of course.
You
Oh
stupid.
my God. See, then there's a Prejudice ears. It's not just the basic scenario, but do you want to hear from somebody? What if God touched that person?
I ain't gonna lie. I have prejudice is to a degree because I don't do well with crybabies and woe is me type people. So if you always coming at me and you negative about your situation, or you always want to cry about it and not do nothing about it, and it's just what is it? What is it? I can't do it. That energy, it does something to me. I can't be around it not too long. I will
Yeah.
try to pull you out the best I can, but if you gonna keep bringing, I can't keep doing it with you.
And see, that's the thing now. When if we confront it, like if they see where they're leading to, and they seem that it's going to negative, and so because I was just mentioning that earlier, you could be like a person, be like Slap Rock from Flintstones, wowsy, wowsy, woo, right? Everything comes around, everything is crumbling and all that stuff, right? So if if I see them coming towards me and everything is doing the same thing, of course I'm gonna know 'em. Go on, Slap Rock. Last time I had you come over, my walls broke. But I
Hmm.
see them coming and nothing is breaking and stuff. I'm gonna probably give them that opportunity. But the hardest thing to give an opportunity is somebody done, like I said, betrayed you, or
Yeah, I have a hard time with that. The person who took my kindness for weakness and thought they could walk over me
you
type
feel
deal.
me? I'm saying,
Yeah, I feel you that. But that's our human nature. And that's where you ask God to give you that strength to give
uh,
them grace.
hitting
Because we
that
humans.
nail. That's the point that I'm getting to. That's the point. We all fall short. We all get mad, but this is a character trait because it tells us to control ourselves. And sometimes we don't know why we ain't getting my blessings, because when I
Hmm.
start realizing it's something I didn't just start practice. I started practicing. I didn't just start now. I started listening to different ones. Like I go to 7-Eleven, I'm in Long Beach, and one guy's come up to me or something. You feel me? I'm not shunning them away.
Right.
I'm like, what's going on with you, boss? And he's like, okay, I get some change. Oh well, man, if I have some, I don't really carry change, but if I have some, you got that, right? Um, because I get a scratch. One day I won scratch and won $20. I got 4 5s, kept 1 5 and gave it out to the three dudes. Man, my mouth. You feel me?
Hmm.
With that. But I was like that. But with somebody who done stabbed me in the back and all that, I've learned to listen to them. But guess what I do? I feed them with a long handle spoon.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Because I have an ex friend now who still reach out to me on Facebook and I give them advice and give them good stuff. I'm handicapable, not handicapped. You know it, Gregory. You better know what's up,
Yeah,
boy. You know how we rolling.
different abilities.
That's it. Different abilities. We the handicapable at its finest, baby. But no, I got an ex friend who was just like that, and I only reason I really cut him off. I'm grown. You can break my heart, but when you break my kid's heart, that's a whole different situation.
Mm,
So I know where to put him. So I know he's needing help and stuff and advice and all this kind of stuff. But I don't see this person as a friend. I just see it as a person who I can offer advice to. But I will never let you in my circle again to hurt my kids or none of that.
yeah. Well, and see now they can talk with you and stuff like you said, but they can't get in that circle no more.
Yep,
See,
they lost
sometimes
you.
I'm the same way. I did with someone that day that said, "Look, don't play the games with my kids. You know, I don't mind. But when you getting, that's why I would keep my kids away from some people I dated, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not into that. So this one person, they all cool with kids and everything, and it was a secret agenda that they kept hidden.
Mm.
And I'm like, look, man, I asked you if I bring you around my children, I need to be real, 100.
Right.
Now, um, what I would find is that I listen to them, like, but it's like lies, like say for instance, 5 years and went by. So now I ain't been thinking about it, but now they're bringing it up and like, oh, this, that. And I'm like, wait a minute, that
Mm,
is not what happened. Now
right.
I thought I was gonna listen to you, but now you know what I'm saying? You're taking my uh, audience attention of yourself and making it into uh, a situation. I'm not into that
Yeah,
because I
somebody
tell
say,
anybody if you felt like you got to break up with somebody. Now, if you, what I understand, if you married and you got to separate, you got to be thinking to come back together. That means communication and broke down. Now, if trust is lost and you know played on it, you might as well go on to accept that, let them be. You feel me, and whatever. I
yeah,
tell people, you can't say a boyfriend and girlfriend is a married couple. That's just like an Airbnb. It could be like a home, but you feel me? It's
it
not your
ain't yours, right?
it's not your house. You can say, "Oh, we've been together 3 years and all that."
I get it in all forms. People treat you how you feel, or how you feel they can. I treat folks according with respect and kindness.
But
Good stuff.
it's easy to say. It's easy to say, like when you make a comment. It's easy to say, "Oh, I can do this and I'll do that." But it's your peers around you, and they say what see what they say. That's what I like a real reality show. Let's see what people actually feel, how you actually was when you're around. You don't know you even being filmed. You may be G may be one of the ones be whirling up into his house and just be like, "You motherfuckers, I'm tired.
Right.
Where's my goddamn ticket?" You feel me? But on the chat, he be like, "Yeah, so you feel me?"
Yeah.
But when I met him, he seemed to be a cool spirit. But I'm just saying this: we got to be careful, especially on online. I found that online stuff is y'all. It could be very, very. Waiting for Cynthia to come back. I don't know what she did with her camera and stuff. But when we call it prejudice here, we're not saying it's racist. It could have a racial overtone, like G's going through. Patrick Mahomes ain't going through what you going through, G. For real. Because they be all up in that booth kicking it. I was looking at some of the players. It seemed like it's always accepted when it's an athlete. If there's different races, as far as a black person and a white person, they got together, they have a child. Love is love. That's the only thing I see it. But when you turn prejudice ears because this person is not white or this person is not black or this person is not Latino or this person, man, it loses flavor. It loses a breakdown of communication. There's no reasoning. Then you don't want to listen to no reasoning. No reasoning. You can't get nothing accomplished. Manufacturers that do know how to work an infrastructure to make you work, and they ain't ask you if you got a problem with working with this person's sexuality or they Latino or they black, white, and you on an assembly line and your job is to seal the boxes with this tape and then it goes down the assembly line. You part of an infrastructure and they ain't asked you what your race is, what your sexual preference is, and everything. That's why they have these laws about sexual harassment and stuff like that. If can't be precious ears when you working on the infrastructure. If okay, you're black or Latino out there in LA and you don't want to talk a reason, but y'all both go for a job, they hire both of y'all. And guess what? Y'all gonna learn to communicate because you got a reason to have a job so you can take care of your family. You got to put the politics away. We have precious ears to each other. We don't want to hear how we talk. And sometimes we got to just let some stuff go. You just got to forgive it. I had a homeboy that was murdered, and me and my partner, one of my best friends, we couldn't let it go for the longest. the way they murdered him, and it hunted for years. But when I said, you know what, I'm gonna forgive it, you know, wasn't in no fear. I had precious ears because I didn't want to hear about reasoning. I didn't want to hear. All I wanted to do was hear like Charles Bronson, you know, in this movies. You know what I'm saying? I'm on that revenge. But God has a way to getting through. And if he can talk to a donkey, he can talk to me, through you, through anybody who's around who's capable of transmitting communication. They got apps now on your phone. Somebody talking you a different language, you find out, and then they let them speak and like, and you be like, how are you? Then I'd be like, oh, I'm great, and yourself, and you get it, and they gonna be like, what, you know, for real, we technical like that. We all use cell phones. We all got gadgets. We all love our children. Men like to have, you know, kick it with a nice woman. Women want to be with a nice dude, someone who cares, you know, all that. Why has got to be precious ears of what we listen to? Like I say on our comedy show, it's the real stand-up comedy. Thursday nights in downtown Long Beach, you can stream it live. It's the real stand-up comedy. Show starts at 8:30. They have the doors open just through the NFL season at 6 because of the NFL game. It's over by quarter to 8, 8 o'clock. Come on through. Get the real comedy. And it's streaming live. You no matter where you are, we keep at. We just tell you, subscribe to my channel and stuff. But unless you got precious ears and only want to get your stand-up comedy from this person and that person, because each generation there's some cats. And I put my crew against anybody. Me, Big Hank, Melrose, Little Rob, Stefan, couple of other guys, but just that main core against anybody. You don't want a bag session. You don't want to go through that. I challenge hard, each and every one, every group. You take out 4 or 5. We can have a comedy marathon. For real, you can stack your deck. Get Cat Williams, get Mike Epps and them on your team. It's for real. That's the African dude? Get him. All them cats. I bet you Roy Anthony is going to be in the top 3. You can believe that. You understand me? And that's speaking shallow because I believe my whole team, we'd be all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I worked with the best. And I know for real, you know, don't let me bring up Richie. Don't let me bring in the Midwest. They still got a full army. Top Food Panda. Redneck Pimp. You got, I got other cats. I got, what's it, Cool Bubble Ice out of New York. You know, it's a mob squad of us and stuff. And they be coming down there. Chris Simpson supposed to be making a guest appearance. Just one of our partners in crime out there, you know. Holler at me. Roger Rod, he knows. Holler at me. Chocolate Storm, she knows. Holler at me. For real. I am Roy Anthony. I thank God for my team. I thank God that I have no prejudice. I've been told that I've matured because I used to have a problem with not listening and cutting people off, but I've been listening. And if you come up on the show, I've been paying a lot more attention. And Roy Anthony is blessed. I want you to know that God blesses you too. If he can pull me out the gutters, he can definitely do it for you. All you got to do is believe and start forgiving. If you have aught in your heart against anybody, I don't care who it is, family members, family members, people who look down at the neck, forgive them. So God can forgive us, and then he can bless you with everything you want. That's what he said. For real. That's Mark 5, 11 through 21. All right, then. I'm out of y'all. God bless.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and
Every
Friends Show.
Tuesday and every Thursday.
Y'all
Hey,
tap in.
is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie.